Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the Monday night team up call. I am especially excited about this evening because tonight we're going to continue a bit of our overview of some of the programs and some of the trainings that we did at S.A.L.T. 2 weeks ago here in the Metroplex, and it was just an incredible training. Everybody left absolutely inspired, but more than that, we left with some real insight as to what to do to grow business. And one of our topics was the benefits, the importance of the three-way connection call. And if you're participating in the Brave Leaders program, you know how important the connection calls are to grow business. And when I look back over the past couple of years as a team, we've kind of, we do a few, but it's been kind of pushed to the back burner, but no more. We're really embracing this concept of the three-way call. And so for S.A.L.T, I asked Nicole Fletcher if her and her team would do a program on the connection call, the value of it, the benefits that they're seeing. And of course, Nicole and her team just knocked it out of the park. So I thought we would bring the flavor of that home to you tonight. So Nicole, are you with me, honey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see the different things that we're talking about as we talk, and go ahead and get started with this presentation. So I love the topic of three-way connection calls because it's something that I feel like is a lost art. And so when Terry asked me to do this, it really challenged me to go back to the drawing board, back to square one, because this is what we used to do all the time, guys. But I think that with social media, as good of a tool as it is, it's really created a comfort zone area that we don't step outside of much. And so if you see this deer in the headlights look, raise your hand if you've ever felt this way doing three-way connection calls or just being asked. Maybe you haven't even done one yet, but somebody said the word three-way connection call and it freaked you out a little bit, right? So tonight we're going to talk about what it looks like, what the roles are, maybe unmask the fear wrapped around it and just kind of put your mind at ease. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jane Reed. She is one of my newest senior sales coordinators on my team. She's fabulous, and she's going to talk a little bit about the fear connected to this.
Hi. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
You're good.
Awesome. They unmuted me. Okay. So it's an honor to be here tonight. Thanks, Nicole. And basically, I think the biggest hesitation I know that I had when I started three-way calls was fear. And it was fear that I was imposing upon myself. And so I think the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to come on, what's going to transpire rather over the time of the call. So not being in control, the fear of rejection, which we all have, and then not wanting to be that salesperson, not wanting to come across away from the mission-minded approach that we have as a company, which is so unique and amazing, and then not trusting what may come from the call with my upline or business partners. So I know those were the hesitations. So what we always want to remember is that we can always set aside the time, first of all, away from distraction. So tonight on this call, my kids know not to come in unless it's an emergency. So you want to set that environment yourself. You want to block the time because you want to be honoring and respectful of the people who are interacting in the three-way call, not only your business partner, but the future potential client, customer, business team member, whatever it is. And then the main thing is, even when a call doesn't go as well as expected, there's nothing other than human feelings that will come from that. So I know I had a call that went very south very quickly, and it's okay because actually that caused another conversation talking about how the call wasn't really great. And then we were able to laugh and explore new conversations. It opened a whole door. And I think if you turn it over to just going in as prepared as you can, then that's all you can do. So that leads us to preparation is key. I think the number one thing that you want to do is think about your purpose of the call. So the role of you, the inviter, the initiator of the three-way call, is to think through, what's the objective? What am I trying to do? So there's all sorts of scripts and mission-driven model info. And right now on the screen, there's a sample. So basically, are you wanting to talk about product? Is it to share the business? Is it, what options are you going to do on the call? And then you want to let your upline know. We always refer to our upline as a business partner. And so you want to let your business partner know, is this person desperate for a car payment, for example? So when I talk to Nicole about meeting with a future distributor, I tell her sort of the nuts and bolts. This person needs a paycheck. This person just started the product, but she's loving it. And I just want to give my upline the tools so that they can meet the needs of the audience and try to overcome objections before they even arise. And I'll tell you, our upline guys, they are pros at this, and that's why we need to utilize this method, because it has been a game changer in my career with Juice Plus. It's been incredible. Okay, so the next thing is, on the call, obviously we're going to introduce the parties. And we're going to slow down and smile and listen, because so many times we talk too much sometimes and just vomit Juice Plus all over them. And you really want to not do that. You want to be, slow and engaging. Be sure to relate to the person. Be sure to know what needs you're trying to meet prior to the call. That's in your preparation. And then you want to listen to cues during the call and try to overcome those objections during the call so that it's a productive call for all parties involved. We want to be respectful in how we talk, of course, and we want to talk really at the level of the audience that we're engaging with. So that looks something like, hey, I appreciate your time today. I'm going to talk about how amazing Nicole, my upline, is, my business partner, that she's incredible. She's been with the company, X number of years, and she also is a yoga instructor, or relate to all the different facets that Nicole is. So whoever your business partner is, try to talk to the point that relates to your audience, if that makes sense. And then you want to take follow-up notes so that you can actually circle back in and say, hey, you mentioned this. I wanted to circle in on that. And that's the main purpose of the call.
All right, thank you, Jane. And so the whole point of all of this is we want to get good and get organized at getting calls scheduled, right? So if we're doing lots of these, if you're somebody who's going to be the upline kind of expert or mentor, if you will, then you need to get a system in place for your team. This is something that I have not done before, but I did after SALT because I knew it was important. And what I'm finding is that if people know my schedule, they will ask me to do calls. If they don't know when I'm available, they always assume I'm too busy, and it's more of a reservation that they have because they don't want to bother me, and I want them to bother me, okay? So that's why we want to do this, and there's lots of great applications now. I mean, we're all into technology. Signupgenius.com. You can go online to any of these and check them out and see if there's a feel or a format that works best for you, but definitely look into some of these options. And then we're going to talk about the ideal world if you are the person who is the business partner getting on the call. And like Jane said, you can refer to your upline as upline outside of these calls. But in the call situation, you want them to be your business partner so that the person getting on, your prospect, doesn't feel like it's going to be an ambush. If they hear the words upline, they immediately go to something like pyramid scheme. It's just kind of a negative connotation. So keep it business partner or my friend, just whatever verbiage you want to use that really takes the whole leveling of the network marketing out of the picture, okay? We're going to be prepped before the call in an ideal world. Like Jane said, the form, your family, their occupation, the recreational things they enjoy, the money situation at home. You want to make sure that you have kind of a background on all of those things. You want to make sure to thank and welcome the guest when they get on on the call, something I always love to say is, hey, Sally, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. We know your time is valuable and we appreciate you so much giving us just a little bit of your day. Can't wait to share a little more about you, and I've heard so many good things. And so I'm thanking them and letting them know how much they're appreciated right from the get-go. You want to add value to the relationship with the inviter. So if Jane is getting someone on the call, I'm going to know beforehand things that Jane likes, loves, or admires about that person. And I'm going to make sure that I tell that person on the call what Jane has told me. So I'm going to say, and you know what, Sally, I've heard so many good things. Jane just loves how you're such a woman of influence and how you care about people. I can't wait to meet you in person, but this is the next best thing. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and share those things with them because that makes them feel valuable and excited to learn more. And then our other job is, of course, to share stories, cast the vision based on the form info, based on the family, the occupation, the recreation, the money situation, right? So I have a great example of this. Cassie Beard had me get on a 3-way call not too long ago with one of her prospects. And y'all, my story on every 3-way call up to this point had been my Juice Plus business story, the financial desperation, wanting to be home with 2 babies, how Juice Plus has helped us dream. It's a beautiful story. But what I found this day when Cassie was prepping me, she said, Nicole, this girl is awesome. She could be my next sales coordinator really quickly. I'm so excited. She has 2 boys. She's already a stay-at-home mom. Money isn't an issue, and she has a background in fitness. So when I heard her say those things, I thought, you know what? My story, as I always tell it, although it's great, isn't applicable to this situation. So instead, when I talked on this call, I didn't talk about the financial need. I didn't talk about, the wanting to be home with babies. She was already doing that. That wasn't going to resonate with her. Instead, I touched on the fact that I was in fitness for 14 years. I've taught group exercise classes. And as a fitness professional, this makes great sense to me. And I know it will for her. I touched on the things that she already was good in doing in her day-to-day life and applied how Juice Plus could fit in stolen moments. And if I had not had that information, the call would have gone a totally different way. You want to be sure at the end of the call to get their questions and thoughts answered right then if they have them. They may not always, but if they do, go ahead and hone in on that. What are their reservations? What is it that they, maybe want to know more of as far as the marketing plan goes? Let them tell you how deep they want to get into this. And I will say that if I know for a fact someone is ready to go, they've responded well throughout the call and, maybe they say something like, I guess I just want to know how to get started. My answer right then is, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and hop off the line and I'm going to let you and Cassie share information so that you can get in the system and get started. I'll get you on Voxer as soon as you're in and we'll get started sharing with other people. So I then hop off and turn it back over to the inviter. And that's what I do if I know for a fact they're ready to go in. So that was ideal world situations, right? But we have to be flexible. We have to make sure that if last minute calls pop up, we're ready to go. And so when we're talking in terms of this, the introduction is very different. And I confess that this is actually, I love this type of call because I am a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. So some of you, this will make you want to twitch. Some of you, you're going to love it, but you're going to find some balance and be able to give and take. The introduction on a call that's last minute where you don't have the information is going to look more like, hey, Sally, thank you for hopping on this call today. I know it's kind of weird talking to a stranger, but I'm so glad that you're willing to give me 15 minutes of your time. Call it out like it is. It's weird for everyone, right? Make them feel okay that they're a little uncomfortable. And then you want to ask questions like you would an old friend. This is a connection call. Connect to the heart of that person. Ask them, I want to hear more about you. What is it that you do on a day-to-day basis? Tell me more about your family. How are you doing in your work environment? What does that look like? Get to know what they're doing. Ask some questions that allow you to reflective listen to what they're saying. And you're going to respond by taking the information they've just given to you and making Juice Plus make sense. So it may look like this. I've heard you say several times throughout this call that y'all are super busy, but that the finances are kind of hard, that you're a little concerned about making ends meet and investing in something like Juice Plus. Could I share with you a little bit more about what we do? Or I hear you say the 9-to-5 job has just really been taking a toll on your health. would you like to know about the freedom we experience with our company? Just ask some questions and provide some feedback so that as they're talking, they realize they've said all of these things that really are pointing them in the direction of something like Juice Plus. Now, the most important thing, I love this, is you want to always edify the inviter. So you have your prospect, you have your inviter, and you have the business partner. The most important thing is that the business partner always leaves the prospect-inviter relationship better than it was when the call started. And what this is going to look like is I'm going to say something like, you know what, Sally, I'm so glad we were able to connect today. And I just want you to know that you are in amazing hands with Jane. She is such a rock star in this business. She is up and coming, you know, just been promoted to the leadership positions, and she is wonderful. But if you ever need me, know that I'm available too. So instantly they have a relationship where they're trusting the inviter. They trust that person as someone who's going to help them, but they also know that I'm there as a resource as well. And we want them to feel comfortable with both aspects. So here's my favorite quote from Brené Brown regarding connection. Connection is the energy that is created between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. So my goal and challenge for each of you is to get these calls scheduled and make sure as you do that, that's what you're doing. You're helping people through the phone call feel seen, heard, and valued. If you do those things, the calls can't go wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Terry and stop my screen share.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that was phenomenal, Nicole. And Jane, thank you so much. A lot of you, Jane Reed is a new name and a new face, but let me tell you, you're going to be hearing and seeing a lot from her as she rises up the ranks. She's going to be a real contributor to the Team Up organization. So everybody, I'm going to tell you, in the past 2 months, I think just doing these connection calls on a regular basis, you know, I think I've gone from doing maybe 4 a week now to doing 15 to 20 a week. And the benefits have been absolutely amazing. What I'm seeing is that some people sign up right then and there. Okay, so tell me how I get started, all right? For some people, we've given them more information, but always, always their belief in the product goes up, the belief in the Juice Plus company goes up, and sometimes, very often, the belief in the industry goes up. So that we're always taking them to the next step, to the next level. But always, always, it's what Nicole said, every single time I get off one of these calls, I guarantee you that the relationship between the inviter and the prospect is enhanced, and it's better than what it was before the call. That's my job, is to make sure that that happens. So guys, I know a lot of you are going to be jumping on your own private team calls right now. And so this is what I'm going to encourage you to do, is step up bravely and trust us. Trust Nicole. Trust Jen and Henry. Trust Judy. Trust Holly. Trust those of us, Michelle, trust those of us that are in leadership positions, especially your QNMDs and your NMDs. We are ready. We're studying. We are getting better at it. We're here to support you, but trust us. And why not do one connection call per week? Why not do that? Show of hands. Who will step up bravely and schedule at least one connection call per week? Some of you I know are going to do, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to tell you, your businesses are going to explode. Okay, I'm seeing somebody, it's scrolling, who's raising their hands up. I love it. So trust us. You have got to trust the process. It will work. It is working. And so I'm expecting that when you get off the call tonight, you're going to be boxing your upline national marketing director and say, I'm in. I'm looking at my preferred customer genealogy. This week, I'm going to line up 1 or 2 people that I want them to visit with you. We want to share our vision. We want to share our stories. And we want to see if what we have with the Juice Plus business can meet a want, need, or desire, and I'm going to tell you we are getting good at it. So guys, thank you for being with us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this taste of SALT. Next week is going to be Jamie Cantrell talking about wearing a business hat, and I'm going to tell you, it's a program like you've never seen before. All right, so thanks for being with us tonight. Be epic, have a great life. Know you matter. Know I care about you. Good night, everybody.